These dream cars come with some of the biggest price tags. When it comes to high-end hypercars, a few specific companies come to mind: Bugatti, Ferrari, Koenigsegg, and Pagani, among others. These manufacturers have cemented themselves as the top dogs in the supercar and hypercar space, extending to their wealthiest clientele the fastest, rarest, prettiest, and in this case, most expensive cars on the planet. But in order to find out which of these unattainable to most vehicles is the priciest, we've scoured the invoice sheets and uncovered nearly 30 cars all worth $1 million or more. The group includes hybrid Ferrari convertibles, an American Speed King, and even a one-of-a-kind Rolls-Royce built for royalty. We should note, though, the prices listed here are the price of the vehicles when new. So we're not counting auction cars like the Ferrari 250 GTO, or overpriced secondhand sales. But don't worry, there's still more than 100 million worth of cars here to whet your appetite. At 1.4 million new, the Ferrari LaFerrari is actually one of the most affordable supercars on this list. It's a bargain compared to the most expensive vehicle here. Debuting in 2013 with 950 hybrid horses, 708 kilowatts, and a top speed of around 220 miles per hour, 354 kilometers per hour, this is still Ferrari's fastest and most powerful production model to date. The company built just 499 examples of the coupe between 2013 and 2016. You may or may not have heard of the next car on this list, the Zenvo TSR-S. It debuted early in 2020 as a follow-up to the infamous ST1, sporting carbon fiber wheels, a wild adjustable rear wing, and a flat-plane 5.8-liter V8 with two superchargers. The total output for the TSR-S is listed at 1,177 horsepower, 878 kilowatts, while the company estimates this car will hit 60 miles per hour in just 2.8 seconds. Zenvo plans to build just 5 cars per year at a cost of €1.45 million, or about 1.63 M in US dollars. Koenigsegg's first so-called megacar, the One, debuted at the 2014 Geneva Motor Show. It was an even faster follow-up to the Regera, and although it wielded the same twin-turbocharged 5.0-liter V8, the One now pumped out 1,341 horsepower and 1,011 pound-feet. All that power gave it the ability to hit a top speed of 273 miles per hour. Naturally, all that speed came at a cost. The Koenigsegg One cost $2.0 million when new. Hennessey finally pulled the wraps off of its production Venom F5 back in December. Powered by a twin-turbocharged 6.6-liter V8, the company touts 1,817 horsepower, 1,354 kilowatts, 1,193 pound-feet, 1,617 newton-meters, and a record-shattering top speed of 311 miles per hour, 500 kilometers per hour, although, we'll have to see it to actually believe it. The price for all that performance is a steep $2.1 million, and deliveries are expected to kick off sometime this year. After the limited run of the LaFerrari coupe ended in 2016, Ferrari announced a roofless version of the lauded hypercar, dubbed the Aperta. The LaFerrari Aperta was even rarer than the coupe, with just 210 examples produced between 2016 and 2018. And this version was pricier than the fixed-roof model, too, at cost of $2.2 million each. The McLaren Speedtail is the British supercar brand's fastest vehicle ever. Period. With 1,055 horsepower, 787 kilowatts, and 848 pound-feet, 1,150 newton-meters, courtesy of a hybridized twin-turbo 4.0-liter V8, the Speedtail tops out at 250 miles per hour, 402 kilometers per hour. The cost for the fastest McLaren ever is a cool $2,240,000, although, the Speedtail isn't legal in the US and all of them have been accounted for. In 2019, Pininfarina surprised us all with the announcement of a high-end hypercar dubbed Battista, named after the company's founder. The Battista's full reveal came in March of that same year at the Geneva Motor Show, complete with 1,827 fully electric horses, 1,362 kilowatts, and a 0 to 60 mph time of under 2.0 seconds. Although we haven't seen any full production versions yet, the company promises a limited run of 150 examples at a cost of $2.5 million each. Mercedes has promised a production version of the Project One hypercar for quite a while now. The first official announcement was in March of 2017 before the first concept debuted later that same year. But after nearly 5 years of teasing, it appears as if the Project One will finally hit public roads. And when it does, the hybrid hypercar will have over 1,200 horsepower, 895 kilowatts, and a price tag of $2.7 million. Although it's certainly the wildest-looking Bugatti on this list, the Bolide actually isn't the most expensive. The Bugatti Bolide costs a very reasonable $3 million, offering the same 1,479 horsepower, 1,102 kilowatts, from the company's iconic 8.0-liter W16 engine. But this is a track-only special offered in very limited production. The upcoming Aston Martin hybrid hypercar hasn't even hit the market yet, but already the 3.2 million Valkyrie has sold out. For what it's worth, Aston Martin hasn't officially released pricing. Estimates suggest the hypercar could go for anywhere between 2.6 and 3.9 million, but 3.2 million seems to be the magic number. Whatever the case, this machine is impressive. Its Cosworth-sourced 6.5-liter V12 produces 1,160 horsepower, 865 kilowatts, and 664 pound-feet, 900 newton-meters of torque, meaning its top speed should be well over 200 miles per hour, 321 kilometers per hour. The company will build just 150 examples of the standard Valkyrie, with a limited 25-run Armor model arriving later. Another showstopper from the Geneva Motor Show that never was, the Bugatti Chiron Pure Sport is a special edition Chiron with a focus on aerodynamics, weight reduction, and power distribution. It's the same 8.0-liter quad-turbo W16 engine underneath the skin, but it's now mated to a recalibrated automatic gearbox. While the peak output remains unchanged at 1,500 horsepower, 1,103 kilowatts, the RPM redline has been set 200 revolutions per minute higher, up to 6,900 revolutions per minute. The Pure Sport also features slightly revised bodywork, with a bigger rear wing and more aerodynamic front fascia. Beginning production in late 2020, the Bugatti starts at $3.3 million. Dubai-based W Motors shocked the world with its edgy Lykan HyperSport supercar in 2013. With titanium LED headlights housing 420/15-carat diamonds and a holographic display in the center console, it's no surprise it was the third most expensive car ever when new. It falls to number 6 on our list here, but it's still a wild hypercar with a powerful heart. The twin-turbocharged 3.7-liter 6-cylinder engine underhood produces 780 horsepower, 581 kilowatts, and 960 newton-meters of torque. Following Pagani's past playbook, a roadster version of the ferocious Huayra BC was inevitable. Last year, the company made it official by showing off the Huayra Roadster BC, a topless monster with 800 horsepower, 597 kilowatts, and 774 pound-feet of torque, 1049 newton-meters. Somewhat surprisingly, Pagani gave the Roadster 50 more horsepower than its coupe sibling, by cranking up its AMG-sourced twin-turbocharged 6.0-liter V12. In addition to the joy of hearing the glorious engine note without a roof in the way, owners should take comfort in knowing that their car is ultra-rare. Pagani is limiting production to just 40 units, each with a sticker price of $3.5 million. Lamborghini built just 14 examples of the Aventador-based Veneno between 2014 and 2015. Each one cost around $4.5 million, depending on how it was spec'd, and was available in both convertible and coupe configurations. Underhood Lamborghini fitted a more powerful iteration of the Aventador's 6.5-liter V12, now producing 740 horsepower, 552 kilowatts, and 509 pound-feet, 609 newton-meters, of torque, which gave it the ability to sprint to 60 miles per hour, 96 kilometers per hour, in a blistering 2.9 seconds. To date, it's the most expensive new Lamborghini ever. Like many others before it, the Mercedes-Benz Maybach Exelero is a one-off. Commissioned by Fulda, a German subsidiary of Goodyear, to test its new tires, the Exelero debuted in 2004. Mercedes built the Exelero on the bones of a Maybach, and gave it the same twin-turbo V12 engine producing 690 horsepower, 510 kilowatts, and 752 pound-feet, 1,020 newton-meters, of torque. Top speed is listed at 218 miles per hour, 350 kilometers per hour, and adjusted for inflation, the Exelero would cost more than $10 million in today's money. With a price tag of $12.5 million and a selling price of $18.7 million after taxes, the one-off Bugatti Voiture Noire is officially most expensive new car ever. And understandably, a modern interpretation of Jean Bugatti's personal Type 57 SC Atlantic, the Voiture Noire uses the same quad-turbo 8.0-liter W16 engine as the Chiron, producing 1,479 horsepower, 1,102 kilowatts, and 1,600 newton-meters, 1,180 pound-feet, of torque. It has six exhaust tips, radical new wheels, an aggressive, bespoke fascia, and a gigantic light-up badge out back that spells out the name of the brand. Of course, this one-of-one Bugatti already has a home. The most expensive car in the world is a few-off model from Italy. The Zonda HP Barchetta is one of a handful of pretty Paganis on this list, but the company only built 3 examples, and one of those vehicles went to CEO Horacio Pagani. According to Top Gear, this car reportedly cost a whopping 17.5 million, 15 million euros, when it debuted new in 2018, which makes it the most expensive car on this list by a few $1 million.